Now, Ukraine's much-awaited counteroffensive seems imminent as the Wagner group has warned Putin of diminishing troops in Bakhmut. Now, Kyiv's front lines are abuzz with regular Russian artillery strikes, but Ukrainian President Zelensky has assured that a counteroffensive will happen. The exact date of the counteroffensive is yet to be ascertained. Ukraine now plans to reclaim all its lands in the east and south through this effort. On the other hand, Russia's readiness appears to be in disarray. Russia's Ministry of Defense has fired the Deputy Defense Minister in charge of logistics. The mercenary outfit, as I was saying, the Wagner Group, has said that fighters are low on ammunition, adding that Russia's diminishing supplies were known for a very long time.
Сегодня 1 мая, 14 часов 30 минут.
Happy birthday, and happy birthday to the company Wagner PMC. If the company is destined to die, it won't be at the hand of Ukrainian army or NATO. I am showing you the treasures of Solidar warehouse that have been kept here for a long time, were taken care of, repackaged. Let's start our show. Look at this, it's all new from the Solidar warehouse. So these are the Thompsons, submachine guns. I have tens of thousands of these Thompsons. Brand new factory oiled. This is a packing slip. The Ukrainians have been checking it all. The last one was in 2016. You don't need to do it more often than that. I propose putting out an advertisement on Avito.
Предлагаю вывесить объявление на Авито.
I'll exchange these weapons, which are sufficient for a million-strong army, for 300 tons a day of close-range of artillery. 300 tons a day of close-range artillery is 10 fully loaded containers. Not a lot at all. If we take a hypothetical army for 30,000, then 300 tons of ammunition is 10 kilograms per person per day. We are not being given more than a third of this.
Effort seems in complete disarray. I'm joined by Ukrainian MP Alona Shkrum on the broadcast. Thank you, Ms. Shkrum, for joining us on CNN News 18. My first question is, are you really prepared for a counteroffensive against the Russian war machine? Has Western aid been the game changer for you?
Yeah, well, hello from Kyiv. Today, I, as many of Ukrainians, woke up at 4:45 in the morning because of the Russian missiles that they sent just to terrorize the population. Fortunately, all of those missiles were stopped in Kyiv region by our air defense. But I was woken up, obviously, and I got a lot of calls, and I heard a lot of explosions just near my window. So I was asking myself the exact same question you are asking. Why would he do that? I mean, it's sending very expensive missiles, which they don't have enough of, just to terrorize the population. It's not military targets. It's not even electricity, it's not military bases. It's just the residential buildings and apartments in all of the cities in Ukraine. So I think he knows that he's losing this war. I think he is getting very frustrated. He's just trying to terrorize the population. And obviously he wanted to take down Kyiv, as you remember, in 3 days. It's laughable because it's been over a year and Kyiv will stand and Kyiv will not fall for sure. Doesn't matter how long the war lasts. But we need to stop the war as fast as possible because we need to stop the suffering of our people. We need to stop the suffering of all people all over the world who suffer from denying us exports, that Russia denies us exports of our grain, countries in Africa, countries in Middle East, countries all over the world who has their energy prices collapsing and going twice as much. So we need to stop the war as fast as possible. For that, we need to liberate the territories and to, retake independence of our country and sovereignty and our territorially recognized international borders, which means that we need more air defense, actually.
Right. So he has missed a lot of his military deadlines. But in terms of manpower and supplies, are you prepared for a counteroffensive? Let's remember the Russian war machine is vast and way more advanced than the Ukrainian forces.
I know that they have. I know that they have the manpower. I know that we have a very high morale. I know that it is possible to do it. Obviously, it will not be done with one big battle. So the victory in this war with a dictator and terrorist who Putin is will not be one big battle as in Hollywood movies. It would be a series of of liberating small cities, of liberating people, of liberating and winning small battles. So obviously it will not be so fast as Hollywood movies usually put it. But I know that we are ready to do it, and I know that we will do it when the moment is right. So it has to be unexpected for us. It has to be unexpected for Putin. It has to be unexpected for Russian soldiers. So obviously it will happen. We just need more air defense, and we need more help from our partners.
Right. Mishkram, you have pointed out the fact that Putin failed to steamroll across Ukraine ever since this conflict began. What, in your opinion, has been the fatal flaw of the Putin war machine?
I think their main challenge has been completely fooling themselves with propaganda. So when we've seen the first soldiers coming here from Russia, they were young men who were just sent, to die, and they were told that they would take Kyiv in 3 days, and that Ukrainians would be happy to see them here, right? And they were so brainwashed with Putin propaganda, who he himself maybe believe in, that Ukrainians do not want to be an independent state, that there is no Ukraine, there is no Ukrainian language, there is no Ukrainian history, which is completely bullshit, that they actually believed that. And they were so surprised when Ukrainians, as you said correctly, even without any weapons, formed, territorial defense system. Every city, every man, every woman who could hold a gun, and we protected Kyiv region, and we fought for it without any help from the West or without any help from our partners or our closest neighbors, because we are an independent state, and because we can let a lot of things been taken from us, but not our freedom. If you look at the history of Ukraine, it was always the fight towards the freedom of the country and the freedom of the nation. So I think their biggest challenge was this propaganda machine, which actually completely fooled them. And now they are realizing that this doesn't work. Now that they're realizing that Ukrainians are not happy to see them here, and will never be happy to see them here, and will never surrender. And that is why now, the Wagner leader Prigozhin is saying that he needs to retract from Bakhmut because he's being losing the battles, and they will lose the battle, believe us, because you cannot defeat a nation which wants to be independent and which will never surrender. I think this is the rule we've seen through all of the planet and all of our history.
Absolutely. At the beginning, you didn't have Western support, but you stopped Putin from fully taking control of Ukraine. My final question, Mishkram, are you confident that you have turned this war around?
I can tell you honestly that we were not ready to take the Russian war machine. No country in Europe actually could have been prepared for fighting with such a big country and such a big army, because Russia is a huge country and has a huge population resources. Right now, they are sending, people from prison, obligatory to fight in Ukraine just to die. They are sending a lot of people from Siberia who are fooled by propaganda to be here. So obviously we were not ready. But I know for sure that we never would have surrendered. That even if Putin would have moved forward, there would have been a resistance, as strong as we see now. So obviously, I think that the biggest challenge for us would be to end this war as fast as possible, because we are losing the best people. We are losing part of economy. We are losing the whole sectors of economy. And obviously, we want this war to end, but we want the war to end with stable peace. We don't want Putin to reinforce himself and to come back in 1 year. That would be the worst disaster ever. And that is why we actually need, to liberate the territories, and we need to really end this war. As to the Putin war machine, I think that they underestimated the aid that we have gotten, but let me tell you very honestly, the aid depended on our resistance. If we would not have fought for ourselves, if we would not have shown this resistance even without the military aid, we would not have gotten the aid. So it completely depended on the way that we behaved as a nation, and I'm very proud in the way we behave and continue to behave. And that is why I'm sure that we will win. But for me, really to win, we would need to do it as fast as possible, and hopefully in the nearest future.
Right. Alona Shram, thank you for joining us on CNN News 18.